It's now 7 o'clock. I would like to call the City Council meeting to order at this time. Can we have a roll call, please?
We have 6 councilors present, with Councilor DeForest absent. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 is special orders of the day and announcements. I don't believe we have any this evening.
Correct.
Item 4, please.
Item 4 is a resolution authorizing a conditional use permit to allow a multifamily dwelling in a C1 office district for the property located at 640 Bluff Street.
Ms. Christensen.
Luther Ledig of Bluff Street Investments, LLC, has applied for the conditional use permit to allow a multifamily dwelling to be located in a C1 district at the property 640 Bluff Street. Luther has recently purchased this property and is proposing to rehabilitate it and reuse it. It was previously an 11-unit building. It is a historic structure. It was declared unfit about 2 years ago. There's violations related to the courtyard roof preventing ventilation and natural light and deteriorated stairway at the rear of the structure. It was zoned single family to try to allow the reuse because it's a historic building located in the Bluff Street Historic District. We brought a petition forward to have it zoned to C1 to allow for a conditional use permit for the multifamily use. We did that in order to allow the community to come out to a public hearing and tell you if they had any concerns about the reuse of the property. The only one we heard from at the Plan Commission meeting was a representative. Jim Coots came to represent the church, and they're supportive of the reuse of this building. We are very excited that we've got somebody who is willing to buy this structure in its dilapidated condition and is willing to remodel it and see it reoccupied as a multifamily use. We are recommending approval, and Plan Commission recommended approval subject to the 7 conditions which are listed in your resolution, which are on your agenda for action tonight, which is that this conditional use permit authorizes the renovation and occupancy of up to 12 dwelling units within the existing building located at 640 Bluff Street. The dwelling units may not be occupied until all of the violations in the unfit declaration dated May 13, 2015, as well as all of the code violations have been corrected, resulting in the issuance of a certificate of occupancy. The dwelling units may not be occupied until the applicant has obtained a rental registration certificate for each unit. All exterior alterations require pre-approval by the Beloit Landmarks Commission. Prior to occupancy, the parking lot shall be cleaned up, patched, seal-coated, and striped. The applicant may not reduce the number of off-street parking stalls. The applicant shall obtain all required permits and certificates prior to beginning construction, and then our standard condition of major changes coming back through this public process and minor changes being able to be approved administratively. And Luther is here tonight if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing, so at this time I would like to open up the public hearing for item 4A. Anyone wishing to speak on item 4A this evening should step forward to give your name and address for the record. Is there anyone wishing to speak on item 4A this evening? Come forward, state your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Luther Ledig. I'm the managing partner for Bluff Street Investments. And I just want to say I appreciate the opportunity you guys are giving me to remodel that building. And
okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The second call, anyone wishing to speak on the 4A this evening? Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak on item 4A this evening? Seeing none, I would like to close the public hearing at this time and entertain a motion from council for approval. Is there a motion? Motion by Forback, second by Duncan. Councilor, comments, questions, or discussion at this time? Seeing none, there is a motion and a second. All in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Passes 6-0. Item 4B, please.
4B is a resolution approving the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Local Funding Priorities.
Ms. Christensen.
This is the time of year when we start the
Before we get started, I'm sorry, we need to have Vice President Duncan recuse herself at this time. And sorry.
I'm sorry too. I should have stopped to make sure she did that.
Thank you. Now you may go.
Even though we have not yet gotten our grant award for 17, this is the time of year when we begin the 2008 budget process for CDBG. And so the first step in that process is to establish local funding priorities. The CDA reviewed these at their last meeting, which was just last week, which is why you're getting a revised version today. These local funding priorities help the CDA and then you all to make decisions about your community development block grant funding. It allows us to let applicants know what the priorities are, so it just makes it easier for everybody. Because we do get limited funding, we always get way more requests than we have funding available. So the funding priorities that are were recommended by the CDA at their last meeting include public service programs, which focus on comprehensive case management strategies with priority given to neighborhood stabilization activities, education and budgeting, and life skills. Employment training that corresponds with local employment opportunities and activities that meet one of the NARSA objectives, which at this point are not approved by council, but what was recommended by CDA were included in your packet, which are strategies on neighborhood revitalization, resident empowerment, and public safety in the Hackett and Merrill neighborhoods. And then code enforcement, housing rehabilitation, economic development activities with priority given to technical job training and small business development, program administration, and fair housing. These are identical to last year with the exception of the NARSA objectives. And the small business development, there was quite a bit of discussion on the importance of having some kind of way for people to get help with becoming an entrepreneurial development. And so there was an interest in having that added as a funding priority. And then these, once approved, these will be incorporated into the 2018 Community Development Block Grant application, which will be sent out to applicants and will be available on the city's website. And then we'll give them a few weeks to submit applications, and then CDA will interview all the applicants, and then when they do set the budget, they will use these funding priorities to guide them.
Okay, thank you. Item 4B is a public hearing. At this time, I would like to open the public hearing for item 4B. If there's anyone wishing to speak on this item, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Anyone wishing to speak on item 4B this evening? Second call, anyone wishing to speak on item 4B this evening? Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak on item 4B this evening? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing on item 4B. Is there a motion from council?
So moved.
Motion by Preschel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Blakely. Is there any council questions, comments, or discussion at this time? Seeing none, there is a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of approving item 4B signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Passes 5-0. We've reached now public item 5, which is public comments on the agenda. At this time, citizens may come forward and talk about anything that's not on the agenda at this time. You are limited to 3 minutes. I will not cut you off in 3 minutes, but I'll kind of give you a friendly reminder that you're approaching your 3 minutes. We do ask that you refrain from any personal attacks on staff, council members. If that has happened, I will cut your presentation short immediately. Is there anyone wishing to speak tonight under public comments? Seeing none, I would close that portion of the agenda, move to item 6, which is the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda will be approved in one motion unless the council so desire one removed. Is there any councilor that would like anything removed from the consent agenda, which consists of items 6A through 6C? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
There's a motion by Preschel. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Duncan. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, there is a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, passes 6-0. Item 7, licenses. There are none. Items 8A, please.
Item 8A is a proposed ordinance to create Section 18.02, Sub 15I of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Beloit, authorizing outdoor vending other than alcohol for Peace in the Street event in Riverside Park. This is first reading.
City Manager, please.
Thank you. The item you have before you is to add to the ordinances an accepted event to be held on August 20th of this summer, and this would provide the authority for any single day event in the future. And this allows for the event Peace in the Streets to occur. This is sponsored by the 501c3 Switch Lanes. I knew I had it wrong. Apologize. Switch Lanes. And we do have individuals representing the organization present this evening. There will not be alcohol served or sold at this event, and any outdoor vendors will go through the regular process through the clerk's office to provide for those background checks and issuance. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions from counselors about this event? I do have one, I guess. In the event of this magnitude, first of all, I'm happy to see that you're putting on this event. I'll give you a moment to provide a little background, but also I would like for you to suggest if individuals would like to assist you volunteering, monetary donations, where could that information be sent to? So in your presentation, if you don't mind, kind of cover that, because we do televise this meeting and you may have individuals out there that would like to get involved. So if you could provide contact information in your presentation, greatly appreciate that.
Okay.
And then we just need your name and address for the record.
All right, so we're Switch Lanes at Rock County. We're a nonprofit initiative. We have 4 pillars that we go by: education, entrepreneurship, legal justice, and financial. I can't remember the very last one.
That's okay.
So the basis of the event right now that we're trying to put together, the foundation of it is just so that we can eliminate a lot of the violence and crime that we've seen over the summers, over the past few years. Luckily, Beloit, we haven't seen too much this year, but we're noticing it still within the county, so Janesville, whatnot. So we just want to take one day and kind of unite everybody together within the county. We've also invited people from surrounding areas like Dane County, Milwaukee. So we have a couple people coming out from all over. We are looking for monetary donations. We are looking for volunteers, so any help that we can get from people in the community, local businesses. We also want people who can give information to the youth that we're hoping that will be out at this event. And so all of that information will go to Kelly Tobel, and our president has her direct contact information, but she's located at the old courthouse in Beloit, Wisconsin.
Okay.
She's head of our sponsorship committee. As far as our address, we're located at 322 Milwaukee, or 321 Milwaukee Street in Janesville, Wisconsin. And again, it's Switch Lanes Incorporated. Switch Lanes of Rock County.
Okay.
Sure. 608, I'll give you my contact information. Our president isn't here at the moment.
And if it's a phone number, if you're not comfortable blasting it all out over the place, you can always provide it with the city clerk, and we can make sure that individuals would get that information.
I'll do that.
Okay. But I guess any information that you could provide to the city clerk about contact information where people would like to donate or volunteer,
Great.
Then we can make sure that we pass that along as we're called about the event.
Okay, perfect.
And the date of the event is?
It'll be August 20th.
Okay.
From 11 a.m. until 9 p.m.
Okay.
It's also going to include a peace walk. So we're walking from the east side of Beloit to the west side. The east side and the west side of Beloit starting points,
Okay.
uniting at Jones Pavilion and at Riverside Park.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you would like to share?
As far as the pillars were educational development, economical development, entrepreneurship, and legal justice.
Okay.
In Rock County, we're going to focus on mostly legal justice and conflict resolution in this area.
Okay. Once again, I'm glad that you're doing this event, and we'll do all that we can to make sure that we get the word out and make sure that individuals attend. This is on the agenda for a first reading. I would, at this time, like to entertain a motion to suspend the rules and move this directly to a second reading for approval. That way they do not have to come back to another meeting for a second reading for approval. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules. Motion by Forback, is there a second? Second by Duncan. There is a motion. Any councilor questions or comments? Councilor Blakey, you're on.
I just wanted to comment that Switch Lanes, from what I know of your organization so far, is a very worthwhile group. And I'm so glad that you're getting it established here at home. So thank you very much for your efforts, and I look forward to seeing you down at Riverside Park on August 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You know, Councilor Duncan, you want to turn it?
I just wanted to mention I spoke with your director today, and I'm looking forward to meeting with him. And I'm so grateful that you're doing this on both sides of town, the east side and the west side, to bring our entire community together. So thank you very much for that.
No problem. Thank you.
Any other councilor comments or discussion? Seeing none, and I know that they had a forum here recently as well, and I think they partner with other people in the community. So I want the public to also know that they're not coming in trying to do things that we ourselves aren't doing. They're kind of partnering with other organizations and individuals that's already kind of working in the community doing some of the same things. So I want to commend them for that as well. There is a motion and a second on the floor to suspend the rules. All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 6-0. Now to the merits. Is there a motion for approval? There's a motion by Forback. Is there a second? Second by Anderson. Any?
Want a third?
No. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, there is a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 6-0. Item 9 is appointments. 9A is appointment of a city councilor to the Municipal Library Board. This is something kind of new that we're going to be doing. We're going to be having a council rep on the library board, and I did speak with the president this week, and they're ecstatic to have a rep from the council sitting on the library board. So at this time, I would like to appoint Councilor Clinton Anderson to the library board. Do we need a motion and a second on that, Madam Clerk or the city attorney?
Motion and second on confirmation of an appointment, Nita.
Oh, okay. All right. So I would like to motion that we appoint Councilor Anderson, Clinton Anderson. Is there a motion? So moved. Motion by Presho. Is there a second? Second by Blakely. Any councilor questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor of appointment say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, passes 6-0. Councilor activities and upcoming events. Councilor Anderson, we'll start with you.
Changing up a little bit. I like that.
Changing up.
Well, you know, I think one of the things was last week we had that listening session about the Parks and Rec. I think that was really interesting to get the survey results on that and find out what stuff people actually utilize. So that was incredibly useful, and I was pretty surprised in some of the stuff. You know, it was kind of nice to put that in data. You know, I kind of enjoy looking at the data, so that was really nice to have. And upcoming on July 6th, we have the Chamber meet and greet at the Golf Lab. It'd be a great opportunity to have all of us go out and, you know, get to know the people who run the businesses in the community and, you know, lead from different aspects. So I'm excited to take advantage of that and go meet a lot of those people. Up on Monday, I'm actually going to try to swing by the Janesville City Council meeting and get to know those people too and see how they run a meeting. And, you know, some of us have had run-ins with them in the past. I think it'd be nice to, you know, see them in action and see what they do differently than us. The last thing that I'll be doing is from July 12th through the 15th, I'll actually be heading to San Francisco to go to a Young Elected Officials National Conference. Pretty much, I think the title explains itself. It's Young Elected Officials. So we'll be pretty much kind of, you know, mingling and discussing how they run business throughout the country in different elected posts. And yeah, find out they probably all have the same problems as we do. So I probably won't find anything too surprising. But that will be definitely exciting to take advantage of.
Okay. Thank you. Councilor Blakely.
Last Saturday, I had the pleasure of teaching a teen writers workshop at Beloit Public Library, and I was glad there was a nice turnout of local kids, and very happy to see that creativity and energetic involvement is alive and well in the city of Beloit. I want to recommend the Blender Cafe at Beloit Public Library. They've had their soft opening, not their grand opening yet, so you can go in and maybe help them work out a kink or two as they serve you up delicious smoothies and coffee and sandwiches. It's a good place and very convenient, just off the children's room at the library. And I want to wish you all a happy and safe 4th of July.
Thank you. Councilor Forback. Want to hit your button.
Say that I ran away from Beloit for quite a few days, and so I don't have as many things to say as everybody else, although I did make it to our great farmers market Saturday morning. So I joined Sherry in saying enjoy this holiday. I love fireworks, only legal ones, of course.
Councilor Presho.
Oh, yes. Well, yesterday I attended a Beloit Snappers game for the first time in 4 years. That must be good luck to them because they won.
All right.
That was fun. Nice 3 hours to spend, and I encourage everybody to get out and support the Snappers. You know, we've got to find a way to get them a new stadium, and I sure hope we can come up with something. So that's on the horizon. And the city manager reminded me that tonight's there's Sing at the movie on the Big Lawn. So I don't know how I missed that one. But so after the meeting, a bunch of us will be tootling down there. And we had the forum on Colac Center got cut short by the storm, so I'm looking forward to that being rescheduled so we can get some idea where that's going to go in the future. Coming up, the golf course committee, you were talking about getting that's another new one. I joined that at the request of their president, so now we have a council rep on the golf course committee. And that's been very interesting, if a bit early in the morning. It's 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. But, we're trying to get a handle on what's going on there and getting some ideas. So it's good to be active there, even though I'm not a golfer. I appreciate the benefit. So, and thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Duncan.
Okay. I'll just be very brief. I just want to mention that I had a chance to enjoy music at Harry's Place last week, and I just want to say special thanks to Jennifer Codal and her staff and the Friends of the Riverfront. It was beautiful out there. And then I just want to echo what my fellow counselor said and just say have a happy and safe 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you. And as I look out to the audience and see firefighters and police officers, I would like to really, first of all, thank them for their service for the city and all city staff, but particular tomorrow, I'm asking the community to please be safe. We've had things in the paper about safe fireworks. It's no joke. It's not funny when these hardworking individuals are going to fires or to calls and they have people shooting fireworks at the vehicles or standing in the way for them to do their jobs. So I'm going to ask the entire community to please be safe and remember when you see them going someplace, it's an emergency. So we don't want to slow that emergency down because they have to get places to treat people or take care of situations. So as you're out enjoying the 4th, there's been a lot of communication out there about illegal fireworks. We're asking you to be respectful of your neighbors. Wednesday, people have to get up and go to work. So, be respectable. Just always tell people, flip the coin. What if it was you and someone else was doing what you're doing? How would you like it? So let's take all that into consideration. Let's keep everybody safe and have a happy 4th. With that, we move to the city manager's presentation this evening. There are none. Item 12, reports and boards for city officers. 12A, please.
12A is a resolution authorizing the application and acceptance of a community grant from the Walmart Foundation for Shop with a Hero program and amending the 2017 general fund operating budget.
Chief Zabowski, please.
Good evening, councilors. As you know, the Shop with a Hero grant is a non-competitive grant that's supplied by Walmart Foundation. We've been involved with that for over 12 years. And it allows us in public safety to engage with our local youth, purchase gifts for Christmas with them at the local Walmart store. So a very good program. So the request tonight is a request for approval, retroactive approval of the application with the Scotia forgiveness because we've had some difficulty over the past couple of years in getting the communications with Walmart and getting this aligned. I mistakenly thought we had approved last year a reoccurring grant for this, but we had not. So I'm asking for the approval. Walmart's already awarded us this grant. We have not received any money yet. but they've moved much quicker than we do. So that part, we need to make this a recurring, and then the approval of the resolution, which appropriately amends the 17 budget.
Thank you. Is there a motion? There's a motion by Pressrow. Is there a second? Second by Anderson. Any counselor comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, there is a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 6-0. Item 12B, please.
Item 12B is a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Rock, City of Beloit, City of Janesville, Town of Beloit, Town of Milton, Town of Turtle, and Village of Clinton related to the 2017 Speed Enforcement Task Force Grant.
Chief.
Councilors, this is a reoccurring grant application. However, the state has opted to change the manner in which they administer it. So for this particular speed grant, the Janesville Police Department is administering it. So we would submit claims to that department, similar to how we're administering the OWI for Rock County. So it's a task force countywide approach, but each agency is taking a separate grant. So the request tonight is just to approve acceptance of the $7,000 for our portion of the speed grant. There's a local match of $1,750, which is a soft match, and this would give us about 44 4-hour blocks of speed grant enforcement. There's about 90 days left in the grant period. This was more on the side of the state in terms of them getting their ability to get this grant out not so quick.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Pressrow. Is there a second? Second. Second by Blakely. Any council comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Item 13, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion by Pressrow. Is there a second? Second by Duncan. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor of adjournment say aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, we're adjourned at 7:28. 7:28 on a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Have a great 4th.